Hey guys, so this video is about why the regular 3D animation training or the 3D animation approach does not work for augmented reality or the virtual reality production pipeline. I remember when I started my first project, I was very excited to work on this AR VR project, and my team was very excited as well. So we worked on this project, and we kind of had a good quality output from 3D software. So we sent that file to the developers, and they made an AR output. And when we saw that, it totally bombed because it didn't look like anything we saw in the software, in the 3D software. So then we understood there's a different pipeline, and we put a lot of time into understanding the differences between the pipeline in the regular 3D animation and the AR VR. I'm talking about this was about 7 years back when AR and VR just came into the market. Okay, so we understood all that after a lot of time and effort. And then we figured out the pipeline where how we exactly need to translate the output we see in the software into the Unity engine and as a final output. So we finished that, and then we showed this final output through the first user who was a test user. Okay, so he saw this AR experience, and it again bombed because they didn't get excited at all. They were like, "What big deal?" So this kind of made me think about a lot of things, because it was my as a part of my job, it is my responsibility to make POCs, proof of concepts, for various demos and bids which we do for the clients. Okay, so initially I failed in a lot of POCs. Then after understanding and learning from that, and working with multiple companies and multiple design teams, this is what I understood, that the AR, VR and 3D animation is totally opposite. Okay, the approach has to be totally opposite. There are tons of differences, but on the macro level, AR is not done only for entertainment. Even though entertainment is a part, it is not entirely for entertainment like a 3D animation or VFX. Okay, so what it brings to the forefront is there's a specific question we need to ask even before we start the project. That the question is, why should this be done in AR? What is the need for it? And why is the client investing this time or the money to make it or to have it in AR or VR? Okay, and what is the end user experience which is expected? What is the user going to gain from it or take away from it? This is the first main macro level question. Okay, and on the micro level, again there are tons of differences, but just to give an example, on the micro level, the regular 3D animation video output doesn't have a limitation per se. Okay, there is a limitation on the file size or maybe on the resolution. But you can still have multiple resolutions. You can have a 4K, 2K, half HD, depending on the need, right? But in AR or VR, the final file, the asset which we are doing, or the final project, most of them it's either going to be streamed online live, or it's going to be saved on the local mobile phone or the HMDs. Okay, so what that brings on the front is it brings a file size limitation depending on the speed and the FPS and all that. So everything has to be reverse engineered based on the file size limitation, and according to that, our workflow, starting from the model to texture to lighting, everything has to be reverse engineered based on this one file size limitation. So this is why I said the approach, the regular 3D animation approach or the training does not work for augmented reality and virtual reality. Most of the times, people who enter this industry, who have earlier worked in the animation companies, they go through a lot of learning curve, unlearning what they usually do in the production companies, and then learning this workflow and figuring out the right way to do it. Until next time.